So this here is Light, a 16 lens camera that promises to replace your DSLR. Now, how it is in practice and doesn't really compete at all with this. Size-wise, yes, it does compete because it is noticeably smaller and thinner. But as far as image quality goes and usability, it's really a far cry. I mean, this is what the camera looked like years ago if you wanted to get the good pictures, and actually it still does. Bigger is still better. So these 16 lenses here, if you take a look, there's a couple like 150 millimeter lenses. See, they're all actually labeled here. So these lenses here are labeled. There's a couple 150 millimeter lenses. 1, 2, 3. 150 are here for some reason, and here. I guess this one's used for depth. Then the wide angles are these lenses, and then these mid-range 70s are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's one more 150 here. So 150, 150, 150, 150. Now, it just sort of seems random that all these arrangements, not sure how they come up to that. So there's definitely a lot of sensors here, a lot of technology. In my practice though, this is my Pixel 2 XL. This thing, I'm much happier with the results from my phone than from Light. It's not just the picture quality that we talk about or the amount of megapixels, but the ease of use and the feature set. With this camera here, it seems that the basically everything seems half-baked. Like, software is there and it's just like it's slow to focus. The exposures, dynamic range are kind of lacking, and then they actually advertise dynamic range as being great. Some of these software buttons don't work, like this zooming button here. What's this? That doesn't record any video, just photo. So to turn it on, we obviously just press the top button. And if you turn it on previously, okay, come on. I have to unlock it. I hate this. We somehow locked it. So we have to unlock it now if you want to view pictures. Okay, this is how it turns on. And to zoom in, you basically just flick this up or down. And then you can actually choose focus points wherever you want here. They kind of click whenever they want. What's this one for? Oh, I guess you have to be really careful about clicking, because otherwise it thinks you're trying to zoom in. So zoom out, zoom in. Okay. What's really cool, if you want to change exposure, you can just rotate, slide this here. I like that shortcut. I find that I can use just my thumb for doing this. To take a photo, you hit this. Now there's additional menus and stuff here. Flash, auto on. Let's try on. Okay, geez. Okay. So I did use some flash. Let's leave it on auto. I don't know, just to me, I have like no joy or excitement. The only excitement when getting this camera was actually just getting the camera. As far as just using it, I find that I never actually want to use it. There's really no, well, not really, there's no SD card at all. So to transfer images, you have to connect it with the cable, or you can use the Android menu to upload these images somewhere. But again, it's more cumbersome than it should be. But physically, let's look over the body first. So on top you have the power button and the shutter button. This one's actually fairly nice. You press it halfway, it focuses. Yeah, it's like, there we go. And then full press takes a picture. There are no more buttons. These zoomable buttons here, I guess, were supposed to work. They don't work. Everything else is on the touch screen. I believe this is a speaker here. Then we have a microphone jack, USB-C port for charging and data transfer. Some expansion port, I don't think that's active yet, and a 1/4-20 standard tripod mount, which is a nice addition. On the front you have all the lenses. Here you have some Class A laser focus assist and this thing here and a flash here. And I believe that's a microphone here as well. That's about it. Like, the package is actually not terrible if it wasn't meant to replace this. The thing is, it cannot even compete with this. Yeah, this is like, if you think about it, it's only about twice the thickness of like a phone with the case. So it's not so bad, but it is substantially, bigger. I mean, it's not like terribly bigger, but if it really gave us the results it promised, this is something I would actually use. If I could get 50 megapixels with a really nice dynamic range and really nice clean images, where I don't have to use a camera this big with a big lens, I would definitely use it. But right now, I mean, it just falls really short of all the features they promised. It is definitely revolutionary in design, but in practice it kind of sucks. I've heard somewhere that the company is more interested in licensing than developing this software, and it certainly seems like it. At this point, I'm not 100% sure if it's only software limitation or there's actually hardware limitation. I don't know what kind of chips they used for all these cameras. These chips could be actually with extremely low dynamic range, unless some of them underexposed, overexposed, and that's how they enhance the dynamic range, obviously. So far my verdict is stay away from this. At $2,000 is way too expensive. It's just like, if you're an early adopter and you like cutting edge technology and you have spare money, that you don't really care about, then you can buy this. So you can see an example of focusing here. Turns out only this lens moves. Well, I guess they all slightly move. Let's zoom out a little bit. So right now we're at 70. They all move a little bit. So we'll do some focus testing here, so you can see how these lenses move. We're at 70 millimeters. So it is kind of really cool. Let's go up to 150. So 150, you can hear it focus, but I don't actually know where it's focusing on. Let's go on a wide angle. So then it just uses these tiny lenses. That's kind of cool. Yep. There you have it. So conclusion is definitely the half-baked effort. It's hard to justify the price. I would rather keep the $1,700 than buy a DSLR or spend it on a future smartphone. Nice idea, but I guess badly executed. Um,